In August 2025, Stanford's Digital Economy Lab published a study that should make anyone early in the tech career stop and pay attention. Rather than surveying people or asking companies what they plan to do, they pulled actual payroll records from millions of workers across the US. And what they found is that early career workers aged 22 to 25 in the most AI-exposed occupations, including software engineering and data science, saw a 16% relative decline in employment since late 2022. Meanwhile, workers over 30 in the same occupations saw 6 to 12% employment growth over the same period. What this means is that AI isn't eliminating tech jobs, it's eliminating the entry points into tech jobs, and that changes everything about how you should think about your career right now, especially if you're looking to break into the field or early in your career. I'm Maggie. Today we're covering 3 tech roles people assume are safe, what the data actually says it's happening to them, and stay until the end because we're going to cover what you can do to turn this into your job search advantage. First of all, the reason this is happening right now comes down to task structure. AI doesn't replace jobs all at once. It's the most repetitive, structured, well-defined tasks at first. The problem for early career professional is that those tasks are exactly what junior roles are built around. GitHub Copilot is now used across 91% of engineering organizations. AI writes 46% of the average developer's code. The AI benchmark tracks how well AI systems solve real software engineering problems. And in 2023, AI solved 4.4% of those problems correctly. By 2024, that number jumped to 71.7%. And that leap happened in a single year. Older workers aren't as exposed because they bring something AI can't replicate. Years of handling unexpected problems, difficult clients, and messy real-world situations that don't have textbook answers. The formal education that gets you hired at 22 is exactly what AI has absorbed. The experiential knowledge you build over 5 years is not. Without further ado, let's get into the specific roles. The first role, and not surprisingly, is junior developers. The Bureau of Labor Statistics confirmed in early 2025 that US programmer employment fell 27.5% between 2023 and 2025, the lowest level since 1980. Entry-level software engineering postings on Indeed dropped 60% between 2022 and 2024. And Salesforce CEO announced the company would hire 0 software engineers in 2025, pointing directly to AI productivity gains. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York published data showing that computer engineering graduates now face 7.5% unemployment. That is more than 3% for fine arts graduates. And that statistic alone is a clear signal about the industry shift in software engineering. What's being automated is the mechanical execution of code. Think boilerplates, bug fixes, unit tests, feature implementation from a spec. What's not being automated is the architecture thinking, the system design, the judgment about what to build and why. Something worth noting is that the Bureau of Labor Statistics still projects 15 to 17% growth for software developers through 2034. However, not all jobs of all levels and types are being impacted equally. The mechanical coder role is shrinking while the design thinking engineer role is growing. The second role is data analysts. Data analysts are in a more complicated situation, and the nuance here is worth unpacking. Indeed reported that data analytics positions fell 13% year over year as of late 2025. Bloomberg research found AI could automate 53% of market research analyst tasks. The descriptive part of your work is increasingly something AI can handle in minutes rather than hours. Think answers to questions like what happened last quarter, pull this data by the region, and summarize these results. But what most coverage misses is that while analyst postings declined, the data scientist roles grew 4.2% quarter over quarter and 10% year over year. AI and ML postings surged 163% from 2024 to 2025. Robert Half still lists data analyst as a top 10 most demanded technology role, with salaries between $96,000 and $138,000. What we're seeing is that roles that describe what happened are under pressure, but roles that figure out what to do about it are growing. The data analyst who builds dashboards stakeholders could ask a chatbot to generate is in a harder position. The analyst who understands the business deeply enough and have the domain knowledge to know which question is actually worth asking and who can translate between technical outputs and business decisions is still in high demand. And that's a skill that AI cannot replicate, and one a lot of analysts haven't prioritized because they've been busy building dashboards. The third role is business analysts. Business analysts are probably the least discussed role in this conversation, the argument being that business analysts have deep domain knowledge, and I think that's a mistake. Gartner's analyst Nate Suda specifically named business analysts among IT jobs most at risk, citing what the output of a typical BA day actually looks like: tickets, documentation, status templates, requirements documents. All of these tasks are almost entirely text-based, structured, and templatable, exactly what generative AI does extremely well. In these data shows, project managers and BAs among the top 4 roles cut during AI restructurings at tech companies. Tasks like writing user stories from meeting transcripts, generating requirements docs from a brief description, and drafting stakeholder status updates. AI can do all of this now. A company that used to need someone to be the human relay between the business and engineering is now questioning whether that relay needs to be an actual person or it can be an agentic AI. What's not going anywhere is the part of the BA role that requires organizational trust and stakeholder politics. The senior BA who knows which executive's opinion actually carries weight and how to frame a proposal so it gets approved is not going anywhere. And that kind of relationship capital takes years and is built in a specific organizational context that AI can't replicate. Okay, now before you panic, let's talk about how you can uniquely position yourself for each role in order to stay ahead of the game. For junior developers, stop positioning yourself as a coder and start positioning yourself as an AI-augmented engineer. What that means is that learning to evaluate and direct AI-generated code instead of just writing it. Learn what Copilot gets right and wrong, build your portfolio around systems you've designed and shipped end-to-end. The roles that are growing fastest are ML engineer, AI ML software engineer, both of which grew over 160% in postings last year. If you're early career, those are doors to work toward. For data analysts, get uncomfortable with ambiguity on purpose. What that means is that the safe part of your role is the part AI cannot do, which is understanding the business problem well enough to ask the right question. Develop your stakeholder communication skills, practice turning vague business concerns into specific answerable data problems, then layer AI fluency on top so you can produce insights faster and redirect your time to the interpretation work. And lastly, for business analysts, the pivot is towards AI product management. Roles that require everything a BA brings, plus the ability to scope AI-powered features, evaluate AI outputs, and work with engineering on what AI can and cannot do reliably. The AI product manager role pays $160,000 to $200,000 and is growing really fast. If you're in a BA role right now, start getting hands-on with AI tools your company uses, volunteer to evaluate them, document their limitations, and scope use cases. That experience is genuinely differentiated. The entry points are shifting, but people like you who are paying close enough attention to watch a video like this one are exactly the people who navigate shifts like this well. So hit that like button if this video was useful. It helps the channel reach more people who need to hear this. And let me know in the comments below which of these 3 roles hits closest to home. Are you in one of these positions? And remember, you don't need to become an AI researcher to excel. You need to be someone who can use AI tools with enough sophistication to explain what you built with them, how you evaluated the output, and what the limitations were. Your domain expertise plus AI fluency is the most defensible position in the 2026 job market. Next week, I'll talk about this one app in China that is ahead of the agentic curve and was introduced to me by my 58-year-old aunt who knows nothing about AI, and that the US are still catching up on. I will see you there. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.